Hey YouTube! Okay, so not too long ago I uploaded a video that I made with Aria that was announcing our third pregnancy. So by now you probably already know that we are having another baby. Eden wants to say hi. Say hi, Edie. Hi. That's you. I know. I know. No, you can't have it. Okay, you gonna sit with me? Okay, so I kind of went back and forth for a little while on whether or not I was going to make pregnancy vlogs. And the reason being is that I just don't ever keep up with my videos. So I decided I'd go ahead and try it. I'm going to try to keep up with them and make a video every week and see how it goes. I thought for sure that, I wouldn't be able to do it this time around because I didn't seem to find the time when I was pregnant with Eden and I only had one small child to wrangle rather than two. But I'm going to give it a try anyway. I did make notes this time because I am a rather terrible vlog maker. So hopefully this will help keep everything a little bit more efficient and comprehensive. So, okay. So about this pregnancy, let me just tell you what happened. My cycle didn't return until October 28th. Eden was 15 months old, and so it came back pretty late. I'm going to say probably because Aria wants to say hi too. And she just got out of the bath, so. Say hi, YouTube!
Hi, YouTube!
Okay, what are you doing? You watching the Lorax?
Uh-huh.
Okay, you gonna go finish watching your movie?
No.
No, you're gonna sit here with me? Okay, you have to be very quiet, okay? Okay. So, as I was saying, so I think that because I've been tandem nursing. Please be quiet while I make the video.
No, Mom.
Can you?
No.
Please?
No, Mom.
Why not?
I want to talk to you.
You wanna talk to me? What do you wanna talk about?
I want to talk to the video.
Oh, you wanna talk to the video? Okay. Well, how about I let you talk to the video when I'm done? Is that okay? Okay, let me finish real quick. Okay. Anyways, yes, so I've been tandem nursing. Aria and Eden both. They are both still tandem nursing even now that I'm pregnant. And so my cycle didn't come back until October 28th. And it should have come back for a second time on November 25th. And it didn't. But since it was my first cycle, I didn't really... Aria, really? What are you doing? There you go. Does that work? I didn't really worry about it, not coming back right on time since it was my first cycle. My first cycle after Aria was born was was like 90 days long. So it was like super crazy long. It came back way sooner, so I didn't expect my first cycle to last that long. But even so, the fact that it lasted longer than 28 days wasn't really alarming to me. Still, even though it was supposed to come back on the 25th, per like the textbook 28-day cycle, I went ahead and took a pregnancy test on November 28th, which would have made me 3 days late. Sorry, it's telling me I have voicemails. Anyways, I took a test on November 28th, which would have been 3 days late per the textbook 28-day cycle, and it was negative. So I didn't really worry about it at all anymore after that. And then so that would have been cycle day 32. On December 5th, which was cycle day 39, or a textbook 10 days late, I felt really tired, like just extremely run down and dizzy. Sometimes when I would get up and walk across the room, I would get kind of dizzy and lightheaded, and I kind of thought for a minute, this is kind of how I feel when I'm pregnant and I don't know it. But I sort of just brushed it off. The next day, I went out and I got some pregnancy tests at the dollar store. And I bought 3 of them. I'm sorry, I already had them because I had bought them from when I took the first test. So the following day, I took a second test with the first morning urine, and it was negative at 3 minutes or whatever I waited. I was really tired, so I went back to bed. The girls were still in bed. So I went back to bed, and when I got up again, 20 minutes later, I went back and I looked at it, and there was this really, really faint line, and I was like, is that a positive test? Is that an evap line? I didn't look at it within the 10-minute time frame like I was supposed to, and so I didn't know really what to make of it. So I took the girls out, and I went to HEB, and I got some, what did I get? Oh, clear blue digitals, dummy proof test, pregnant or not pregnant, in words. And I'm literate, so it's pretty dummy proof. So I got some of those, and I went home, and I was trying to wait 4 hours like you're supposed to do, with the first morning urine, or at least wait 4 hours between since your last urination, so that you can kind of, try to get a higher concentration of hormones. And I couldn't. I had to pee really bad. So it had been about 2.5, 3 hours, and I went ahead and tested, and it was positive. So that was a super shock. It was cycle day 40, a textbook 11 days late, and wow, I was really shocked. We were actually trying not to get pregnant because for some reason this time of year is just pregnant time for us. And, Aria was born on September 1st, and then Eden was born almost exactly 2 years later on August 26th. So their birthdays are 6 days apart. And I had really bad postpartum depression with Eden, and I felt like it was really difficult on everybody involved, and I didn't think I wanted to have another child that was the same, with the same spacing. I wanted to wait until at least 2.5 or 3 years after Eden was born to have another baby, so I wanted to wait a little longer. And, I had some other things that I wanted to get squared away, plans to lose weight, and, my photography business is growing, and I wanted to kind of continue on with that for a little while longer before we had another baby, and, so on and so forth. But so what I'm saying is it was a surprise. It was not planned. We were trying not to get pregnant. And, but, I didn't ovulate at whatever I was supposed to. It was cycle day 14 or whatever. I ovulated really late in the cycle. So that's that. Okay, so let's move on. We are really excited about it. We're really excited about it. It was a really big shock and a really big surprise, and it did take a little bit of adjusting, but everybody's really excited about it now. And Aria is, she's 3 years and 3 months now, so she understands what's going on, and she's really excited about the baby in mommy's belly. And we watch, home birth videos together, and fetal development videos together, and she just thinks it's so cool, and is really, really fascinated with it all. Yes, we are planning another home birth. For those of you that don't know, Aria was born at home. Eden was also born at home. She was a home water birth. Aria was born by land. And we will be planning another home birth for this one, hopefully another water birth, because I really enjoyed that. And I probably will call my midwife at the end of this week to schedule our first appointment, which I think will take place probably around 8 or 10 weeks. I can't remember. But anyways, okay, so moving on to the pregnancy. Today I am 5 weeks and 4 days pregnant. So right in the middle of, I guess what would technically be the 6th week of pregnancy, but I am 5+4. Baby is about the size of a sesame seed right now. And in a minute, okay. I'm almost done, and I'll give you some papa, okay? She wants to nurse. Yeah, tell him what you want. I want some papa. I want some papa. I want some papa. I'll give you some in a minute, okay? Go watch your movie and I'll come give you some papa in a second. Okay, so major thing happening this week is that the heart is going to begin to beat. So it's going to begin pumping blood, and it's going to separate into the 4 chambers and start beating. And so that is a really big, I don't know, that's a really big thing for me. So a little tiny sesame seed baby with a little beating heart. That's so cute. So there's that. As far as symptoms go, I don't really have any. I have very, very few symptoms. When I lay down and everything's very still and very quiet, I can feel my heart like beating out of my chest. And so that's one of the like minor symptoms that I've noticed, you know, like with the increased blood circulation, with the I guess your blood volume increases like by a crazy amount when you're pregnant, you know, to supply blood to the baby and the placenta and your uterus and all of that stuff. So there's that. And then occasionally when I'm in the shower and it's really, you know, when it's like steamy and hot, I'll get dizzy, but that hasn't happened for a little while. And then nursing, especially with Aria, and I think it's because her latch is kind of lazy, is kind of irritating. It's just like really irritating. Just sometimes I gotta tell her, you know, I can't do it right now because I can't handle it sometimes. But they are both still nursing. I am not planning right now to nurse 3 babies. What I am hoping is that when the milk dries up, which happened for me with Eden's pregnancy, late in the first trimester, that Aria will self-wean. And if for some reason that doesn't happen, I really don't know. I'll just have to cross that bridge when I get there because I don't know what I'm going to do. But I do hope that Eden continues to nurse and that we, you know, have a pretty easygoing nursing relationship through the pregnancy, and that she adjusts okay to the new baby. But you know, being that I was able to tandem nurse the 2 of them, I feel like I would have an easier time tandem nursing Eden and the new baby the second time around since I've already been through it. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. Hopefully Aria will self-wean, and if not, then, you know, we'll make new plans at which point that, you know, that happens. Let's see, what else? I have had no weight gain. I've been watching what I eat pretty closely, and I've also started exercising because, you know, I had plans originally to start exercising and lose some weight, and so I've changed my eating habits. I've changed my, you know, exercise level. I did sustain like some kind of running injury, so I haven't been able to go back to the gym for like a week and a half now, but I plan to start going back again really soon. Hopefully keep my weight gain down to a super, super minimum with this pregnancy because I am overweight and I do need to lose a lot of weight, and I'm like really crazy petrified that I'm going to gain a lot of weight with this pregnancy and just, you know, going to start like so overweight after having a 3rd baby, and I just don't want to do that. So, no weight gain as of right now. My weight just kind of fluctuates between like 161 and 162, and I'm trying to sort of safely and slowly get it down just through good nutrition and exercise, not limiting the amount of food I'm taking in. I eat when I'm hungry. I eat good healthy foods. I drink a ton of water. So that brings me to what I'm eating right now is a ton of eggs. I'm eating so many eggs. I'm eating like 2 to 4 eggs a day probably because they're high in protein. And so I'm trying to get a lot of protein. I'm not like big on beans. I'm not big on nuts. I'm not being big on tofu, and I don't eat a whole ton of meat. So eggs are where it's at for me. A little bit of yogurt sometimes in the morning, like just vanilla yogurt with apples or some kind of other fruit is usually what I'm doing for breakfast. And then I'm not taking in any caffeine, no sodas, except for like the occasional Sprite, which I've pretty much nixed entirely from my diet now. I'm just not doing soda anymore because soda is flipping horrible for you. So no caffeine, no sodas. I do drink decaf in the morning. And surprisingly, after the first 2 or 3 days, which I felt like a zombie and didn't wake up until like 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, my energy has been amazing. I'm not even kidding. I am not tired. Like, normal pregnancy tired is just not happening to me. It's crazy, and I'm pretty sure that has to do with the fact that I started taking prenatal vitamins immediately when I found out that I was pregnant. I went out and got prenatal vitamins, and that was my first mistake that I did with Eden with her pregnancy. Is I waited too long to start my prenatals, and so my first trimester was miserable, like nauseous and tired and unmotivated, and just like, don't get me out of bed for anything ever. But this time around, it's not like that. So the prenatal vitamins, also coupled with the fact that I'm drinking a ton of water. Like, that's what I'm focusing on right now. Getting a lot of good, high quality foods and enough protein in my body and water. I'm drinking between 64 and 100 ounces of water per day. And I started doing that immediately because I struggled with doing that with my pregnancy with Aria and my pregnancy with Eden, and this time it was my goal to it wasn't going to be like that. It's going to be taking in tons of water, and so far I'm doing really, really good. The last thing I wanted to show you guys was the prenatals that I'm taking. Eden just ran off with them. Aria, can you grab me the bottle of vitamins? Can you bring them over here to me? Right there on the floor. Eden took them. This video is like way longer than I wanted it to be. I do want them. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. You did give them to me. Come, Kissy. I'm about to come bring me some papa, okay? Okay, so these are the vitamins I'm taking. I know, they're backwards. Rainbow Light, prenatal ones. They are food-based multivitamins. They are once a day. I love these. Most of them you have to take like 2 or 3 times a day, and I just wasn't into doing that. I take them generally. I take one at night before I go to bed so that they don't make my stomach upset or anything. Hi. This is my baby. I love my baby. Need to brush her hair, huh? Anyways, I do highly recommend these. I love them. I love them so much. I got them at Whole Foods, if I didn't already say that, but I think I did. My midwife wasn't sure about me taking these because this is what I took when I was pregnant with Eden, because she was afraid that I wasn't going to, these are vitamins for me. She was afraid that I wasn't going to get enough iron because I was taking a vitamin that contained iron and I think calcium. I think it's calcium that interferes with the absorption of iron. Anyways, every time we tested my iron levels, they were perfectly fine. So, I think that was the only major concern with me taking a once-a-day vitamin and not taking like a mineral supplement separately. But, I love these things, and Eden's about to take the phone. So, this video has gone on long enough. Like I said, I'm going to try to make a video every week. I may go ahead and make another one on Thursday when I turn exactly 6 weeks, and then try to make them like on the week, every week. But we'll see how that goes. If not, then, early again next week. But until then, I will see you guys later. Bye.